Hey guys, CreamCrazy here. Welcome to my Night of Champions 2012 results and opinions video. Now, of course this is pretty momentous because this is the last video you will see of me unless something breaks before Friday morning until mid-November or early December. So savour it, take it all in while you can, because you're not going to see too much more between now and then. So yeah, just sit back and enjoy. Now this pay-per-view, of course, we had no Joe the King Lawler on commentary. We found out before this thing started that JBL will be on commentary in his place. Not bad. And I will also point something else out before I get into the review. On the pre-show, Scott Stanford said, "Oh, we got the tag team title match up first." You know what? Hold on. You know what you were, Scott Stanford? You were 100% wrong! Wrong! Yeah, like one big fat suited failure turtle. You were wrong! Oh, fuck yeah. I had to do that because how can you be so wrong? Because this pay-per-view started with the Intercontinental Championship Fatal 4-Way, where The Miz defeated Rey Mysterio, Cara, and Cody Rhodes, which is pretty damn awesome, because I really feared he was going to lose this when I was watching this. Really? Anyway, Miz complains he's the only guy on the night, the only champion on the night, competing against 3 other people, and he was going to file an official complaint with Booker T. Nice. Good way to make this anti-Booker T thing keep going, so when he eventually does get fired at some point, according to the rumours, it should make sense, right? Anyway, Cara takes out Miz and Rhodes with a cross-body. Mysterio then heads Miz out of the ring, leaving both luchadors in the ring at the same time. The crowd are a little bit excited. Then Miz goes right back at Mysterio, leaving Cara in the ring with Rhodes quickly afterwards. Cara hits a double head scissors on the Miz and Rhodes. Arm drag onto the Miz on the outside. Mysterio flips Rhodes out as once again the luchadors are in the ring on their own. They both low kick each other, and springboard elbow by Cara misses. I really was amazed. I thought, wow, Mysterio, I'm showing how old you are because I can still do this. Bit of one-upsmanship there if you didn't really get the drift. Anyway, Mysterio is then hit by a head scissors, then hits one of his own. Covered by Miz, but Miz breaks it up. I'm skipping over my own notes here, it's really ridiculous. Massive gourd buster by Rhodes, which I'm really fucking up tonight. Anyway, Cole calls a gourd buster across Rhodes. How fucking stupid are you, Cole? Anyway, Cody and Miz brawl as Miz breaks up the fall. Miz then puts Rhodes out of the ring, a roll up by Cara for 2. Mysterio breaks it and rolls Cara up for 2. I think I said that properly, Lord knows. Mysterio then whacks Miz out of the ring again, leaving just again the luchadors back in the ring to kick the shit out of each other. Cara stops Mysterio on the top rope. Rhodes then saves Mysterio with a disaster kick to Cara and covering for 2. Cody goes for the superplex. Miz grabs Rhodes, power bombs him as Rhodes is suplexing Mysterio off the top rope. Nice! Can't go wrong with that kind of triple threat spot. You can't go wrong with that. It is awesome. Honestly, that's what Fatal 4-Ways are for. Stuff like that. Although, they're better off for triple threats, honestly. Miz covers Rhodes for 2. Miz gets both Rhodes and Cara out of the ring. DDT to Rey Mysterio, cover for 2. Mysterio goes for a run, slips under Cara, and hits a drop kick off the ropes onto the Miz. I believe Cara hit the drop kick and then hit a suicide dive. Thought I'd see something more ridiculous than that, but you know Cara, he does tend to botch. Anyway, Mysterio shoves Rhodes into the barricade before a seated senton takes them both down. Cara hits a corkscrew plancha over the top rope into the ring to Miz for 2. Miz misses his knee and Mysterio springboards a moonsault for 2. Cody then breaks out that cover. I believe that I've messed that up again, typo-wise. What the fuck's going on with me tonight? I don't know. Wheelbarrow facebuster by Rhodes for 2. Miz misses the skull-crushing finale. Bumps Rhodes into a 619 because, well, it happens. They bump into each other. 619 into the face. Easier said than done, right? Ray then drops the dime, 2 counts. Rhodes then goes for the 2. Sin Cara then kicks it out. Rhodes then tries to take Sin Cara's mask off. Mysterio makes the save, but he's sent straight out the ring. Flying kick to the head by Sin Cara. Sin Cara then just randomly takes a second mask out of nowhere, tries to put it on Rhodes' face. Miz then hits a neck breaker. Sin Cara kicks out at 2. A powerbomb attempt by Miz. Sin Cara then just puts the mask on top of him. Rhodes goes for the, I believe the crossroads. I wasn't properly looking on Sin Cara. Miz then just comes out of nowhere because he has no idea where he's going. Hits a skull-crushing finale on Rhodes. 1, 2, 3. Miz retains the title in a very ambiguous circumstances, I would say. Very ambiguous. Because you think, okay, so he pinned the guy. He pinned Rhodes clean. Technically, because you have a mask on his face. Was it a dirty finish or what? I don't know what it was. It was really confusing me. Just thinking, he's won clean, but it feels like it isn't clean due to the mask interference. If you know what I mean. It's kind of, I don't know. I'll let you guys figure that out for yourself. We go to the back. Caitlyn has been injured, apparently hit from behind in the ankle. Eve is now reassuring her, but to be perfectly honest, we know what's coming. I'll ruin it right now. Eve goes to Booker T because she's won matches against Caitlyn before. She's going to be the new number 1 contender. Yay! Honestly, I could see that coming from a mile away the moment the segment started. Didn't need all the theatrics and the shit acting. Just saying, I really didn't need that. Next, and the match which Scott Stanford got so totally wrong, happened. Team Friendship managed to beat Kofi Kingston and R-Truth to win the WWE Tag Team Championships. Now, both of them argue just who's going to start this match. Kane takes the lead. Because in all fairness, if you're that big and that strong, you do not want to get in the way of him. Because honestly, would Bryan want to pick a fight with Kane? No, exactly. It's easy. Don't know what the fuck just happened there. Needs to turn the volume down. There we go. Kingston throws Truth into Kane as both men take him down. Kane goes on the rebound and gets him into their corner and tags in Bryan. Crossbody on Bryan by Kofi for 2. Bryan goes for the clothesline on Truth, but Kane tags him in off the run. Bryan tags in and kicks Truth to death. Covers for 2. Nice snapmare dropkick combo by Bryan and Kane. They're actually being a decent team. Holy shit. Anyway, Kane launches Bryan into the corner for a dropkick. Another good sign of double teaming. But it misses. Holy crap. Kane helps him up and Bryan then just snaps, slapping him across the face. They then just get in each other's faces. The tandem is slowly falling apart as Hug It Out chants ring out across the TV garden. And you know what? Bryan says, yeah, let's just hug in the middle of the ring, and Kane is just steaming. His face is just going, fucking, I hate you. Oh, fuck it, I'll fucking hug you anyway. It's funny, it works. Anyway, and also to point out, there was a massive pop. These guys were over as shit. Honestly, it was amazing. Anyway, Kofi then tags in, taking down Bryan with his kicks and clotheslines. Kane then pulls Bryan out of the ring as the Trouble in Paradise is about to get hit. Obviously, Bryan complains, saying, what the fuck are you taking me out of the ring for? Honestly. Kofi then hits a senton flip onto the outside. Off a springboard, Bryan then gets him into a no-lock. That's fucking awesome, not gonna lie there. Truth, though, kicks it loose. Drop kicks Kofi, Kane tags in. Kofi goes for the Hurricane Rana off the top rope after a sequence. However, he misses as Bryan is holding down Kane, so the Hurricane Rana can't happen. Bryan then whacks Kane off the top rope, and the cover is made just like what happened last time round when Bryan got chokeslammed onto the Primetime Players. 1, 2, 3. Team Friendship is now team winning. Holy crap, they managed to do it. Like we all predicted. It was all pretty relative. And you know how it ended? Ended in one of the funniest ways you could imagine. Both of them holding up the tag belt saying, I'm the tag team champion. I'm the tag team champions. And honestly, I was laughing my arse off. Hysterical. Oh god, the segment later on in the evening, even better. I want to just mention it right now because I forgot where in the show it actually happened. Anyway, Bryan's obviously going around saying, I'm the tag team champion, I'm the tag team champion, waving it in AJ's face. Then Dr. Shelby comes along. Yeah, good stuff, saying, what, are you good? What are you, Bryan? I'm a tag team champion. All that stuff. And then in comes Kane to restart the argument. And then just basically they're basically shouting at each other. Dr. Shelby's about to have a heart attack, and AJ kind of butts into... And she sounds like she's having an orgasm at this point. Literally, I mentioned that in the Skype convo. It blew up in either nice comments or what the fuck, dude. Anyone else you want to slag off there? Anyway, and then basically Kane says, look, Kane walks off as Bryan says, you know what? We did good tonight. Kane then just pours loads of juice over them, all three of them, and says, I'm going to go to Disneyland! Woo! Just runs off. And AJ is freaking out, and oh man. That's a contender for the Rufflecopter Award if I needed any indication. I was pissing myself, so was everyone else on the Skype chat. AJ, Kane, Dr. Shelby, Daniel Bryan, this entire anger management crap is incredible. And, okay, I can slag off the crap soap opera melodrama writers that WWE have as much as I want, but when you write shit like this, it is gold. When you write stuff like that, it's brilliant. Daniel Bryan is still the most compelling guy on TV. Why? Because him and Kane are awesome together. The chemistry works. I don't know why, it just does. Anyway, on to the next match. Antonio Cesaro defeated the Battle Royal winner to retain the WWE United States Championship, and the winner of that Battle Royal was Zack Ryder. He shocked the universe by beating Tensai last. Didn't see that coming, but the minute that happened, everyone was saying, wow, he's going to have job to Cesaro tonight. I had some hopes that Ryder would win, but nah. Anyway, there wasn't too much to go on about in this match, really. There was a nice flapjack dropkick combo by Ryder early on. A flapjack to the ropes by Cesaro shortly after made me squeal a little bit. Cesaro beat the crap out of Ryder for the majority of the match, but honestly, the crowd were getting behind him. This is the best moment of the night in terms of moves, bar near the end of the WWE Championship match. Because he pushes him up, Cesaro just basically gets him, pushes him up in the air, whacks him with the biggest uppercut I've ever fucking seen. And I know he did moves like that in Ring of Honor. I just haven't seen it in a while, and it makes me very happy that I have seen it, if you know what I mean. It just makes me very happy to see a fucking huge uppercut like that done well. A hair-trapped neck hold by Cesaro. Ryder then hits back with a facebuster to kick out, followed by a nice discus clothesline. Roll up for 2. A suplex counter into a neckbreaker by Ryder for 2. Ryder hits a massive Hurricane Rana, ready for the broski boot. But Aksana, being the horse she is, pulls Cesaro out. Ryder is back into the ring, pretty down quickly. Uppercut by Cesaro, followed by the neutralizer for the win. Very basic, very long match though. I'll get to the review of the entire match and the rating at the end of this review, but it was very long. It didn't need to be as drawn out as that long as it did, honestly. Next, and I will link my hatred of this result with everyone in the Skype chat. Because we all had, well, bar one person, all had consensus. Fuck you, Randy Orton. Because Randy Orton beat Dolph Ziggler. Why? I'll get to it later. Anyway, collar and elbow tie-up starts the match. Headlocks by both men. A slow start, obviously. You need a slow start to build anticipation for what's coming up later. Shoulder knockdown and a massive clothesline by Orton. Orton stomps on the arm and head followed by an uppercut. Massive dropkick by Ziggler. Cover for 2. And this is the first bit of offense he's had the entire match. I have to say it one more time. Actually, fuck it. This happened for heels all the way through the night. Even Punk was a victim of this. You do not do one move then go for the cover. And I keep saying it because it's crap. You have to get more than one solitary move on a guy to get a cover. I don't know why WWE guys continuously break that rule and just do it anyway. But it's annoying. It gets on my nerves. Boot to the face in the corner by Ziggler. Neckbreaker cover for 2. And there's I think something happened in between there. Wasn't paying attention because Skype chat was distracting me for most of the night, just to point out. Springboard rope suplex by Orton, cover for 2. JBL is getting angry defending Vicky Guerrero. Nice. Patented backbreaker by Orton, hitting his signature clotheslines and power slam, which Cole calls right. He's finally got it. He's finally got it right. And to be honest, I thought this match was going to end early. No, because the Hangman DDT got counted into a roll-up for 2. Massive powerbomb by Orton, though. I didn't think I'd ever see a powerbomb by Orton for the first time in a while. Covers for 2. Ziggler fights out of a superplex and hits a nice missile dropkick. Covers for 2. The crowd are starting to pick up as both men punch each other. Ziggler hits a nice jawbreaker on the rope and covers for 2. Repeats elbows by Ziggler. Cover for 2. Ziggler then arches over a headlock and applies so much pressure on Orton's head. Very nice move. Orton then fights out of the headlock with a back suplex to a chorus of boos. He's not over here. Elbow and clothesline by Ziggler, followed by another headlock. DDT to Orton, followed... Oh. DDT to Orton out of the headlock by Ziggler, but only gets 2 count. Orton hits Ziggler on the top rope, lines up a superplex, but after some punches, of course. And it was a massive impact. Orton felt it. Again, Ziggler kicks out at 2. Multiple punches and headbutts by both men. Brawling by Ziggler equals win, I may want to point that out. More signature clotheslines by Orton. Ziggler off the whip, hits the famous servo. No RKO. 1, 2, Orton kicks out. Basic. I randomly misspelt this as the sleeper hold. Would that catch on? The sleeper hold. It sounds a bit like sleeper hold, but it just takes a little bit more of your mouth muscles to really pronounce sleeper. Yeah, your tongue needs a lot more work for that one. Anyway, that's counted into a Hangman DDT, but then that's counted as Ziggler goes to the outside. Orton throws Ziggler into the barricade, Hangman DDT on the outside, off the barricade, on the floor. Fuck yeah, that looked painful. Orton rolls Ziggler back in for the cover, but I thought it was over. Ziggler's foot got to the rope. Yeah. Orton calls for the RKO. Ziggler counters into a roll-up for 2. Sleeper hold locked in. Orton counters into... He either scooped him completely over and hit it, or hit a flapjack and did it. I couldn't see. Because once again, my lazy eye was focused on the straight convo, not the screen. I missed the replay doing the exact same thing. So it's either or a very unique way to do an RKO. 1, 2, 3... Orton gets the victory. Lardy fucking da. Again, I said this after his loss to Jericho. He needs to bounce back quickly. If Ziggler doesn't do that, we're fucked. Just to point that out there, folks. I did mention in my predictions review how it would be difficult for Ziggler to bounce back if Orton beat him. Then they have a rematch on SmackDown and the same thing happens again. We need to see Ziggler bounce back here. My opinion, though. You guys have some different opinions. Lord knows. Next, we have the Divas match. Eve Torres defeating Layla to win the Divas Championship. And I'm really regretting predicting Layla as the winner now, because everything I said would happen at Hell in a Cell happened here. And I was really pissed off. There's a roll-up by Layla for 2, a headlock takedown chest jackknife cover for 2 by Layla, and also another nice drop kick by Layla. Eve then at the outside rammed Layla into the floor and the apron, which was nice, along with a rear naked choke on the top rope, which I thought was very nice. Then, because of what happened in the apron and the floor, Layla then has a body scissors applied. Now, this is obviously basic. In most Divas matches, the ribs are focused on. The body scissors is applied, and Layla oversells the ribs. Honestly. The scream that she was giving out. For fuck's sake, it sounded like she was having anal sex backwards. It was ridiculous. I honestly do not want to hear that kind of sound in a wrestling match. It didn't sound real. It felt like she was just going, ah, just putting it on. And like I said, it did sound like she was having anal sex backwards. It was bull. It was ridiculous. I have had that stupid thing from the selling from Kelly the exact same way. These divas cannot sell for shit. I have to continuously say it because it's true. These divas can't sell. Anyway, Layla gets out and hits a massive DDT. Springboard crossbody misses. Corkscrew neckbreaker by Eve gets the win. Simple. That's really basic. The match had barely anything to it anyway. I can move on. Next, Sheamus defeated Alberto Del Rio to retain the World Championship. Who would have guessed? What we probably would have guessed, but we still didn't predict it anyway, Booker T came out and lifted the ban on the bro kick, allowing Sheamus to whack Otunga with it right when the match began. Obviously, I knew this wasn't going to last longer than the pay-per-view. La-di-fucking-da. Anyway, Sheamus beats down Del Rio in the corner. As JBL stated, he had a cold at WrestleMania 25, which made him lose to Rey Mysterio. Could believe you there, because... wondering how you managed to get a cold in Texas. What? Put that out for me, why don't you? Anyway, Del Rio goes for a drop kick, slips through the ropes. Sheamus hits the battering ram off the apron. Del Rio slips off the apron, driving Sheamus' head into the turnbuckle. Sheamus is then thrown into the table, and the usual arm rib area being sold on the outside, which we all know by now is the same injured arm that's been on every single match in this feud. Cover for two by Del Rio back in the ring. Again, I normally would go into what happens here, but it's the exact same. Del Rio just completely goes mental, working that arm and the arm and rib area, just continuously doing it. And we've seen it so many times. You can look back at the last couple of matches we've had on pay-per-view, and it'll be the exact same. It's boring, really. However, Del Rio did stretch the arm on the top rope, which I thought was fantastic to see. Nonetheless. Anyway, Del Rio is then whacked with a Polish hammer coming off the top rope, which is nice. White Cross counters into a backstabber for two. The white noise soon afterwards connects. Sheamus then misses the bro kick, and an enziguri is hit by Del Rio, covers for two. Cross arm breaker is countered, a bro kick is then countered, a cross arm breaker is then countered, and into a cloverleaf, which is then countered. Fuck me, that was brilliant. The sequence was fluid. And this explains why you need the fucking cloverleaf, because without that it would not have worked. Sheamus' arm is now caught up in between the ropes. Del Rio kicks the arm until it finally comes loose. White noise countered, arm breaker, an arm breaker, which is the arm stretch knees, followed by the cross arm breaker connects. Del Rio is then lifted up as Sheamus is about to give up and is bombed to the canvas. Just like last time, may I add. Bro kick misses again, and Sheamus is locked in the cross-arm breaker one more time. Sheamus is almost at the ropes, and he just gets his foot under it. I thought that Del Rio had mercy, which was crap because Del Rio doesn't need to give any. Anyway, where am I? Yeah, Del Rio is absolutely pissed. He then misses the enziguri, and the bro kick connects. 1, 2, 3. No cash-in. No Rodriguez turning, no Otunga retribution, nothing. It's just Sheamus winning, but he at least does manage to sell the arm a little bit. He's holding it, not really doing much with it, and he looks out of breath and tired. That is good enough for me in terms of a selling connection. And we get to the final match. I thought at this point we'd have a Ryback squash match to obviously fill the time between the two main events. I was wrong. I'm amazed I was wrong with that. I really am. Because this championship match next, the WWE Championship match, the crowd have been looking forward to it. So have I. Because, believe it or not, CM Punk beat John Cena to retain the WWE Championship. Now, if you haven't seen this pay-per-view, and you're wondering, how the fuck did he do that? I'll tell you right after this. Paul Heyman's in the ring as the promo comes out, and he's stating he'll be at ringside watching CM Punk win. Punk then holds the belt aloft when he's in the ring to generate heat and make Cena wait. Nice. Old-fashioned heel tactics there. Nice headlock takedown by Cena and the head scissor by Punk to really get the match quickly started, but the pace is then halted as they stop to milk the crowd and revert to headlocks. Headlock is then countered into a back body drop by Cena, drop kick right onto the nose by Punk, cover for two. Massive Irish whip by Punk into the corner. Punk boasts, is put into an electric chair drop, and Punk is then countering it into a sick DDT for two. Drop toe hold into a bridging face lock as you're a better wrestler kicks out. Don't know how people are chanting that. Never mind. Cena rolls to the outside. Punk hits a suicide dive, and he then stares at Cena's dad, making me think, you know what? Something could happen later. You know what's even funnier? Cena throws his t-shirt, his brand new Rise Above Cancer shirt, to his dad, who I thought was just some crazy man. And he just looked at the camera and went, "I got to shoot now!" Another funny little moment. Anyway, where are we? Oh yeah, baseball slide by Cena as Punk is distracted at the apron. He then gets thrown over the barricade. Fisherman suplex is then done off the barricade onto the floor. Another good move on the floor here tonight. The AA hold is now in, but Punk hits out with a nice kick. Facelock is in, but Cena fights out. Punk remains in control with punches to the face. Massive right hand covers for 2 by Punk. Double axe handle by Punk from the top rope, which I thought Cena was going to counter, may I add. 5-knuckle shuffle countered by Punk. Massive clothesline by Cena a little bit later. Neckbreaker by Punk for 2. Crossbody by Punk counters into the AA, but Punk pulls himself to the outside. Cena then hits a suicide dive. When the fuck have we seen him do that? Crazy. Anyway, back in the ring. Protoplex. You can't see me. 5-knuckle shuffle, but again Punk counters it. Punk then locks in the Anaconda Vice. Cena's trying to fight out. He does. Locks in the STF on the counter. Nice. Punk then gets in, locks in a crossface. And you know what? Everyone pointed this out to me, just like I noticed. By that happened. Like the crowd just had the energy sucked out of them, and I'm wondering why. Oh yeah, because it's a crossface. Benoit reference, the crowd will go, "Oh no, don't want to show any support for that, I'm backing away. That's what it was. And it was really weird, because you could feel the energy just get sucked out for that one moment. It's crazy. Cena fights out, back and forth punches by both men and a heel kick by Punk, stopping it right in its tracks, followed by the knee. Punk goes for a savage elbow and connects it. I believe there was a cover, but Cena kicked out too. I wasn't looking. Yeah. Punk goes for the GTS, but Cena counters into an STF. Punk gets to the ropes, then hits the GTS. Thought the match was over, but Cena kicks out. And I did mention this. What the flying fuck was going on? Massive clothesline off the ropes, covers, but Cena still kicks out. GTS, then AA counter. Protoplex, 5-knuckle shuffle without the theatrics, connects. AA then connects. Cover, but Punk kicks out. Fuck, we're even. Cena goes to the top for the leg drop, but misses it. Roundhouse kick. I thought, he's done. 1, 2, Cena kicks out. Fuck me. Punk then uses a variety of slaps on Cena's face and a knee to the face. Cena again kicks out of another cover. Punk goes for the moonsault. When the fuck has he used a moonsault recently? But misses it. Cena goes for the AA. Countered into the GTS. Superman's dead. Yeah. To quote, "In the name of Our Lady, peace." 1, 2... But for fuck's sake, Cena kicks out again. What else has Punk got in his arsenal? Oh, I know, a rock bottom. 1, 2, but Cena kicks out again. It's stupid. Ugh. AA by Cena. I think it's over. But for fuck's sake, Punk kicks out of that too. This is the craziest shit I've ever seen. These guys are throwing everything at each other. Going to the turnbuckle, Punk's a bit blurry-eyed, he has no idea what's happening. He's put on the top turnbuckle. Punk elbows Cena off the top rope, as this is awesome chance. Keep going. I thought, okay, this is going to be awesome. They're going to continue it. Something has got to give here. This is going to be an endurance match. It's going to be something. And then Cena hits a German suplex off the top for the 1, 2, 3. That was it. I shouted, "What the f-" out loud. I was really stunned by this. But Cena wins from a German suplex off the top rope? How fucking sudden is that? And I think, wow, that's a shit way to end the pay-per-view. But then, you think it's all over. It ain't. Because the result I mentioned at the top of this summary does not match the result down here, does it? No. Because the ref has handed the title back to Punk. Because apparently, both men's shoulders were down at the same time. The match is a draw. Meaning, that Punk retains the title, and he then hits Cena's head with the belt as the show closes. Now, I do want to ask one important thing about this. Usually, the title belt is stripped from a guy in this situation. Yeah. Just want to point that out. Well, the match is restarted. Didn't happen here. Heyman influence, maybe? Lord knows. Anyway, now I'm going to do all these summaries out of the way. 30 minutes in. Let's get to the actual pros and cons of every match to get the rating, shall we? First of all, the Fatal 4-Way. It was fast and furious throughout. The pace rarely slowed down. Really enjoyed that. The offense came from everyone, which, to be honest, I didn't expect, because this Fatal 4-Way was a lot more encompassing than the previous ones I've seen. This one at least had all four of them in the ring at the same time from many places. Not very positive, Sin Cara didn't botch. He did not botch. How awesome. He did little, but he did a lot. He didn't need to do too much. He wasn't overly showy. He just did what moves were needed, and it worked. Good on him. The masking of The Miz, like I've mentioned, slightly made him have a dirty finish without him realising it. It looked a clean finish, but what am I to say? It was a fun little way to end and make Miz retain the title while having the legitimacy of the win in question. Was fun, gotta say. Cons, no psychology. Obviously, you can expect it in a big man match like this. You'd obviously expect it. This could have lasted a bit longer, in my opinion. I really thought that Mysterio needed to get in on the ending rather than just being thrown out. I really thought that was a duff way to end it, because what, Mysterio hits 619 and gets thrown out. It doesn't really factor in much. I really felt they needed to make this last a little bit longer just to make it better, you know. And you know what? Actually, you know what? I enjoyed this for all it's worth. Although, like I said, it just needed a bit more. I really expected a little bit more from this match. Could have brawled outside the ring a bit, you know. Adding the tables in, or someone doing some leapfrogging shit off the barricades, you know, that kind of thing. But I'll give it 2 stars. I'm being very generous again, like I am, but 2 stars is fine with me. Kofi and Truth versus Bryan and Kane. The crowd were fucking hot for this. They were loving it. Plus, I like the fact that the match played with the dissent that the two had. The winners had so much dissent, they were playing on it. This is how an impromptu tag team should react, okay? Where they have doubts over whether they can do anything, they're tagging each other in inopportune times, it makes it very uneasy, makes you doubt whether they can win. There were pacing issues at the time in this match. Obviously, the hugging bit and the way that the match happened, Kofi and Truth should have really broken up the hug, in my opinion, but they didn't. I felt that the match was a bit slow because of these segments. Truth and Kofi's offense was very limited, which made it very hard to see them having a chance of winning, and that really... Okay, in many matches I expect a guy on one team to have a chance at winning, and we could tell from the outset it wasn't going to happen, so they could have made it a bit more believable. The other con, it felt a bit short. Then again, I summed it up like this. The crowd were having so much fun, time flew by. It's basic, it's simple. The match was not really what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a very good tag match that would steal the show. Wasn't. 1 star, though, for all it was worth. It was fun, actually, to watch. To put it fun that way. It wasn't very much, but it was fun. Had some decent tag in it. Storyline was played fantastically. I'll give it 1 star. Simple. For Cesaro Ryder, offense for both men. Too bad it happened being near the end of the match, and it ended up being more lopsided than anything. There were some good moves in this, especially that fucking uppercut. Lovely. Ryder did some really nice moves in there as well. Shows again why people should use him more in WWE. Really. Cons. Very slow pacing, especially under Cesaro's influence. He is a good in-ring worker, but he really didn't need to slow the pace down to that slow. Okay, you need to look dominant, but don't do it that way. Honestly, Ryder, when he had offense, was the only way the pacing sped up. The crowd, apart from when Ryder had offense, did not give a shit, showing just how they really think about Cesaro. And he's a good wrestler, but I will even admit it, I'm a bit bored by him. I've nominated him for Worst Talker of the Year, and so far he's the only guy nominated, so he could end up winning it by a landslide. Anyway, also, the other big con, the match went on a little too long for my liking. And it got really boring. I had to say this right here. I wanted this to be shorter, because if they were going to do a match where Cesaro was going to win, because we all knew it was going to happen, why not make it a squash? Why not have Cesaro whoop the crap out of him? You know? Quickly. Or hit the match, have Ryder leaping over off the turnbuckle to start the match, and he hits him the uppercut straight away, then hits the neutralizer, you get a couple of second match. Sure, it makes the Battle Royal look pointless, but at the same time, I would have appreciated that a lot better. And you know what? I'm being really nice, but the offense, those good moves, that fucking uppercut, I'm going to give it half a star. I am being really generous. Half a star. I could have given it a quarter, but you know me. I can be generous at the best of times. Orton versus Ziggler. Very physical match. The brawling added a bit of extra spice. The random counters were great too. And the Hangman DDT on the floor. It was nice. However, there are a lot more prawns. Prawns? I love prawns, but nonetheless. The cons. Orton winning meant all of Ziggler's offense counted for nothing. And I hate it. When a heel has some decent offense, but it doesn't account for anything. Really. And Ziggler needed to prove himself to be strong. He did. But when you get hit by an RKO like that out of nowhere, it just kind of annoys you, really. There was no psychology, and this match, in my opinion, needed it. Ziggler is a guy who is known for working and selling a body part. Just because Orton isn't a guy who's known to do that, that doesn't mean you can't do it, though. Seriously, Ziggler, you could have easily made this match a lot better, but it's what happens when you work with a guy with a limited in-ring skill in terms of Orton. He's talented, but yeah. I enjoyed the match for a while, and there was no Vicky interference either. I was disappointed by this match too, because I had such expectation going into it. I really did. I had so much expectations going into this, but it had some pacing issues too, because it was a little slow, a little fast. It went up and down as the match went along. I really wasn't entirely convinced that this was going to be a show stealer. I wasn't convinced that these guys really... Actually, you know what? This is the one thing I can say is the main con. Through watching this match, I felt like both guys were only on half tanks. They weren't really going full pelt. And I was really disappointed. I wanted these guys to go full pelt and show the world what they're made of. They didn't. And that's what made Orton's win more annoying. Because he wasn't even half trying and he managed to get a win like that. Ziggler wasn't half trying, but at least he put a lot of effort in for himself. I'll give it 1.25 star. Again, I'm being very generous here. I'm being very generous. 1.25 star is enough for me. I can live with that. Layla vs Eve. A couple of little good moves by Layla, but honestly, the overselling, I don't want to hear any of that sound like that again. And once Eve was included, it was instantly predictable. Really, it was instantly predictable. And it was annoying. That rear naked choke on the top rope, that was fine. The rest of it, though, was bull. And I'd say I'm happy SummerSlam had no zeros. Unfortunately, this one has one. One solitary zero, again, from the Divas. I'm being very kind, because I could have given it a minus. No, I've never given a match a minus star before, even though I had the opportunity to. So it's a 0. Sheamus Del Rio. Now, the fantastic finisher counter sequence. Brilliant. And like I said, this is exactly the good reason why Sheamus has the cloverleaf, adding something different to his repertoire. The match did go on a little bit longer than I expected, but meant at the end we got unpredictability. And we haven't seen that from this match for a little while, have we? We haven't seen it from this feud for a little while. Okay, put my hopes up, you know what I mean? And then psychology played a massive part. Okay, it was the same old shit, but it was much better. Much better than the previous matches in terms of Sheamus selling it well. He actually got locked in the cross-arm breaker. We thought he was going to tap. It was worked over so much, it played out. And Sheamus did look weak. Best thing about it. Just saying. Anyway, cons. Once again, Del Rio works on the arm with Sheamus selling the arm in the same way, same sequence, boring, same old crap. It was prevalent early on. I mentioned it in the review. It was the same old crap, and that's it. There was no Rodriguez turn like many expected. There wasn't a cash in by Ziggler, so the match, the end, just felt bad. It felt dampened, really. And apart from a couple of aerial moves and that double axe Polish hammer thing, the match just felt really similar to the other ones move-wise. It didn't, and the cloverleaf. It didn't really feel like there was any new ground broken. And I'm happy that this feud is gonna end, because if it does end, I'm happy, because I've been seeing the same match for the past couple of pay-per-views, and it's disappointing. So you know what? I'm going to, again, be generous, because it was a very decent, but not very good match while it was at it. What do I give this? What do I give this? Is 1.5 star being too generous? Is 1.5 being too generous? The end of that match really makes up for it. So yeah, 1.5. I'll give it. Finally, Cena Punk. A lot of stuff here. Really. A lot of stuff here. The end was nuts. Just the continuous kicking out of finishes made this match special immediately. Just that made it. You knew these guys were evenly matched when that happened. Enough said. Done. The pacing was progressed well. It started off quite slow. Then it built up to something a bit more medium with striking and loads of grapples. And then it went into complete mental overdrive with finisher kick out, finisher kick out, finisher kick out. Built up an epic crescendo, which, to be honest, didn't fucking happen. Anyway, Punk got a lot of offense. Okay, he's a heel, and the face obviously had to get some offense at the end to show Superman. Didn't happen, but Punk getting the offense, nice, didn't expect that. The crowd were hot, but they did start out slow. They were a bit petered out, and they at least were interested, I'll give it that, because the crowd throughout the night weren't really showing much interest. Both men, and this is the best part, both men hit their entire arsenal of moves, including taking some ones I haven't seen them do in a while. For Cena, German suplex and suicide dive. For Punk, moonsault, and he also hit a rock bottom, for all due sake. But still, I'm very happy that they showed all their worth. Okay, not all their worth, because Punk didn't use the Pepsi plunge. Fuck it, I really wanted him to... I was really hoping towards the end of the match he'd hit the Pepsi plunge, get the 1, 2, 3 and win. That's what I thought. The cons. Now, there are some cons for this. The ending came out of nowhere, sucked the energy out of the crowd, and made the entire moment afterwards with Punk hitting him with the title and getting given the title back again feel really muted and actually expected, despite the fact it was unexpected. That doesn't make any sense. Sucks to be you. There was barely any psychology, which is disappointing knowing what these guys are capable of. Really, I expected a lot more on that front. No Heyman or Cena's dad interfering. It was played, but it never happened. Is that just building up a slow burner for this? I have no clue, but I wanted to see it badly, really. The match should have gone on longer. Now you're probably saying to me, how the fuck can this go on any longer? Look how the match ended. You got a "This is awesome" chant. The match was waiting for a big moment, like an AA from the top rope or something like that. German suplex from the second rope, and then a win was very anticlimactic. We deserved a better finish, because the "This is awesome" chants were ringing out. They wanted more. We should have gotten more, and therefore it means we needed something better. And you know, Awesome Leopard, I agree with you. It was a finish that actually did ruin the match. I will agree with you. I didn't like it. Despite Punk winning in a dirty way, but slightly legitimate way, knowing that the fall was done at the same time, the draw was legitimate, everything else. But I will count it as a Punk win, because it technically was. And the fact is, yeah, the ending just felt wrong now in the context, really. And you know what? I was going to give this 3.5 star majority for the ending, but you know what? I'll give it 3.25 stars. I'm going to type in my amendment, because this match was fun to watch. A lot going on, a lot of good moves, everything. Apart from the very end, just sucked it dry. The crossface hush to the crowd, I want to point that out too. No unique swerves, no psychology. It doesn't go into the upper echelons of good matches this year. Okay? 3.25 stars. I'm being, again, very kind. So don't kill me if you believe it's any higher than that. Right, at the 44-minute mark, like most of my reviews, here are my final thoughts. This pay-per-view, Night of Champions, promised a hell of a lot on paper, and many were calling it, on paper, to be the sleeper candidate for pay-per-view of the year. Sadly, this night did not give us that. In fact, it was a very disappointing evening of wrestling. Sure, some matches were okay, and one being for the most part good. Most of these matches, though, were hindered in multiple different ways, whether it be stupid endings, no psychology, not enough length, or just being boring in general. The pay-per-view felt like WWE wasn't over Jerry Lawler's heart attack and the impact of it, and they just thought, fuck it, we'll put everything on autopilot mode and have a safe night. It really felt like that. It didn't feel like anything special. Even a big unexpected ending didn't feel special. JBL's commentary got better as the night went on, as he didn't have to as he realised he could be a bit loud. He didn't need to be quiet and humbled as he was in the first couple of matches, but still. Cole was a proper face commentator for the first time in 3 years, which was refreshing. The Kane and Bryan segment was crazy, and Punk winning was not seen coming, despite it being slightly dirty. Even with those good points, and the decent match or two, I found myself yawning and being distracted at times, because I had very little compassion for what was happening on my screen, because the pay-per-view really felt flat. It really did. I don't know if it was the crowd or something, but even with the big Cena Punk match, the night just didn't really get going. And was it because of Jerry Lawler's heart attack still having an effect on how things were put together? I don't know. But it really felt like that. It really did. It disappointed me, because I wanted more from this. I didn't get it. I say this. I thought I'd leave for university on Friday after seeing a stellar pay-per-view. I really did. And unfortunately, I have not seen that tonight. And I have to give Night of Champions a below average, hell, nearly bad rating of 3.5 out of 10. 3.5 out of 10. In the lower echelons for the year. I have no real issues with that. It deserves it. If you think it's anything else, you know where to go. Comment section. Guys, that is it. Night of Champions 2012 is finished. I hope you've all enjoyed this. It's been a very draining night, because I've been playing FIFA, I've been watching this, I've been talking on Skype, I've been doing this video. My eyes are tired. I need to go to bed, because I need to sort out my enrollment and my tuition and my fees in the morning. So, a lot going on. Anyway, it's all needed to be said. I will remind you what you need to do. You like my page on Facebook, because honestly, if you don't favourite or bookmark my blog, you're not going to get that blog post any other place. So please, like my Facebook page if you want to keep in touch with what's going on with yours truly, Cream Crazy, in the wrestling world. Plus, so add me on Skype, why don't you? Because CreamCrazyWR, I'm going to be around on Skype. You still want to talk about stuff that happens in the wrestling world? News, Raw, SmackDown, whatever. You can still talk to me about it. Add me. Also, feel free to request some banners, because in the first couple of days at uni, if I'm not doing too much, I might be making some more of those. So, yeah, why not? Why not just request me a wrestling banner? I will make one for you. For free. I'm not asking for commissions, because I'm not in that kind of popularity bracket yet to get it. But yeah, get it. Also, now is a very good time, between now and December, to ask your Q&A questions. Keep doing them, people. I've had a bit of a drought recently with them, but please, just keep them coming. And I've said it already, bookmark or favourite whichever is your browser type, because for Macs and Safari it's bookmark, for Internet Explorer it's favourite. Put that blog, Cream Crazy's Wrestling Rant, the blog, into your favourites, because if you aren't a person who reads it already, you won't get any of my blog posts, and you'll miss out on a lot of my opinions on what I have to think about wrestling in the next couple of months. Because this next couple of months can be big. I don't want you guys to miss out on my opinions, so do that, please. I much appreciate it. Like the video down there, put your views on Night of Champions in the comment section, and please, if you want to see my next video, when or wherever that may be, you know where to go. click the subscribe button up there, because you'll need to do that to see the next video whenever it comes from me. Because, like I said, unless it's sometime this week, if something big breaks, or November when I come back from Remembrance Sunday on my 21st birthday, you won't get another video from me for at least 2 months. So, subscribe up there. You'll get them immediately once I get the chance to make some more. Okay? Guys, I'm done. I have been Cream Crazy. You have been people watching. This has been my Night of Champions 2012 results and opinions video. And you know what? I'll see you guys on the flip side. University, everything should go well. Remember, just because I'm not going to be on YouTube for 2 whole months practically does not mean that I'll be gone forever. Because I'll be back, to quote the Terminator. I will be back stronger, more intense, and ready than ever to give you the wrestling rants, the pay-per-view reviews, the Wrestling Rant Awards show, and the Q&As that you, as subscribers, watchers, wrestling fans in general, fucking deserve. See you guys around. You know where to find me. Peace.